Well, okay, so Jerry, what does gracious professionalism mean to you as a mentor for first teams and in general?
Gracious professionalism to me is one of the best things you see in first, and it really comes down to the fact that you're competing against each other, but at the same time, you don't want to compete. You don't want to win because the other team can't even compete. You want to win because that other team is just below or is ready to compete and ready to do the best they can, but you're just a little bit better than them. So you want to kind of level out the playing field and then show what really is the best, and then show them what you've done to actually be that great, so that the next time you can get even better, both of you, not just one of you. So it's gracious professionalism to me is really that circle of evolution of just becoming better and better and better.
All right, great. Do you guys have any stories about how you've seen great acts of gracious professionalism at competitions around the world or just in general? Andy, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. I've got a good example. I was actually Jerry and I both had a chance to go out to the first Israel regional last year in Tel Aviv, and I was an inspector at the time, so that's my inspector hat, and so my job was to kind of hang out around the field. This was during the finals. Hang out around the field to make sure the teams are staying safe, make sure that if they make any changes that the robot parts are all legal and all that stuff. So in the semifinals, it was the last match of the semifinals. One alliance got beat by another alliance. So the other alliance is going on to the finals. Well, in that last match, one of the winning teams on that alliance broke their 120 amp breaker. They just broke it. Maybe an arm hit it or something, but it broke.
Yeah.
And as they were coming off the field, one of the teams on the alliance that just got beaten, they said, "Hey, we've got a 120 amp breaker. We're done. We don't need it. Here, take ours." So they hustled and they took off their 120 amp breaker. They gave it to the team that won, put it on their robot, and they went on. I think they went on to win the regional. So the team that lost gave up their good part for the team that won, and the team that won went on to win the Israeli regional. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a really good example, actually. Do you think, as a mentor, it's your role to ensure that gracious professionalism is all the time, not just in first, or not, just to other teams as well?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I had the good fortune to be able to start. Well, I was on a new first team this past year because my daughter's school started a new team. So we had a lot of new first students on the team last year. So when we were brainstorming about concepts on how to make a robot, there's all these new kids were saying, "Well, let's put a saw on it, or let's breathe fire out of our robot. Let's just destroy all these other teams." Like, well, that's inventive, but it might be not quite gracious to play that way. So let's play within the rules. There's rules against that, but would you want someone doing that to your robot? I don't think so. So it's our role as mentors is to guide and steer these kids and our fellow mentors to be gracious as we are professional.
All right, great. All right, so, what?
Jerry, do you have any stories as well? Because I'm sure you've seen quite a bit working for AndyMark as well as having been a mentor for so many years.
Well, the biggest one that always pops out in my head is Boilermaker. One of the first years I was there was a rookie team that showed up, and they literally showed up with a box of parts that you get at kickoff, and that was it. Nothing was built, nothing was done at all. And there's usually about 40 teams that are Boilermaker, and I think about 30 of them were helping this team build a robot to get them up and running. And they competed. They were one of the first teams out on the field, like ready to go, they're ready to drive, far beyond a bunch of other teams that, granted, they had a lot more high-tech stuff or a lot more complex things going on the robot, but they were up and running. They were able to play around. They were able to drive around. They played defense most of the time, and then throughout the entire competition, you kept seeing more and more stuff getting added to this robot as they went through the progression. And I mean, even just this past year, out in was it Portland, where they had a rookie team that was kind of did the same thing, and they ended up winning the regional.
Wow.
All right, great.
Quite incredible how this concept of gracious professionalism can transform
Exactly,
culture.
entire culture. Yeah, it makes things a lot more fun. It makes the competition, everyone feel more equal, and everyone has a chance. That makes it feel like everyone has a chance to get in there and win.
It seems like a lot of these stories as well have a similar component of having rookie teams involved.